So picture this. Your body's immune system is like a 5 alarm fire drill, sirens blaring every day. But what if I told you that constant fire drill is actually burning your life force from the inside out? So stick around because in the next few minutes, we're going to expose the hidden villain sabotaging your longevity and the simple science-backed hacks you can use every day to douse that fire for good. Okay, so let's kick off with the fundamentals. Inflammation. Most of us picture a sore joint or a cut that's red and puffy. That's acute inflammation. And yes, it's your body's ride or die crew rushing in to heal wounds and stomp out infections. Short burst, laser focused, job well done. But here's the kicker. When that protective response never switches off, you end up with chronic inflammation. Think of it like a smoke alarm stuck in test mode. Relentless beeping day in, day out until you want to throw the damn thing out the window. This low-grade systemic inflammation, what scientists dub inflammaging, is a silent engine driving nearly every age-related disease under the sun. Heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and even certain cancers. They all share a chronic inflammatory underpinning. And why should you care? Because while you can't pause time, you can absolutely tweak how fast your biological clock ticks. And that, my friends, is the holy grail of longevity. Now let's nerd out for a second. Don't worry, I'll keep it real. Around your late 20s to early 30s, your inflammatory tone starts humming a slightly higher frequency. And why? Damage accumulation, telomere shortening, senescent cells piling up. Your mitochondria are whispering, help me. It's like every major insult, UV rays, processed junk food, and that extra shift you pulled registers as a log on the inflammatory bonfire. A landmark 2015 meta-analysis in Nature Reviews Immunology show that elevated markers like C-reactive protein or CRP and interleukin 6 or IL-6 correlate strongly with morbidity and mortality in older adults. In plain English, if your baseline inflammation is up, your risk of dying from pretty much everything goes up too. And it gets more personal, chronic inflammation. So firstly, it erodes your blood vessels. It accelerates atherosclerosis and skyrocketing your risk of heart attacks and strokes. Secondly, it disrupts insulin signaling, laying the groundwork for type 2 diabetes. And lastly, it gums up your brain's clearance systems, setting the stage for neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. It's the common thread weaving through the tapestry of age-related decline. Okay, enough broad strokes. Let's meet the molecular troublemakers fueling the fire. First is nuclear factor kappa B. So you want to think of nuclear factor kappa B as the master conductor of inflammation. Once triggered by stress, by toxins, by unhealthy food, it flips the switch on hundreds of pro-inflammatory genes. Chronic nuclear factor kappa B activation, that's like leaving your kitchen stove on high when you've walked out the door. And next up is the NLRP3 inflammasome. This is your cell's internal bomb squad gone rogue. When it assembles, it cleaves inactive cytokines into IL-1 beta and IL-18, two heavy hitters in the inflammatory ring. An overactive NLRP3 is strongly linked to conditions from gout to Alzheimer's. And lastly, senescent cells and the SASP. Senescent cells are old, worn-out cells that refuse to die. Instead, they secrete a toxic cocktail called the senescence-associated secretory phenotype, or SASP. SASP factors like IL-6, IL-8, and MMPs create a pro-inflammatory tissue-degrading environment. And the kicker? These villains feed each other. Senescent cells activate nuclear factor kappa B, which primes the inflammasome, which recruits more senescent cells. A vicious cycle that, left unchecked, accelerates aging at the cellular level. So what are the lifestyle levers to douse the flames? So here's where the magic happens, because, spoiler alert, you have major control over your inflammatory set point. Let's break down the big four. Number one, nutrition. Eat like you give a damn. Polyphenol powerhouses. Berries, dark chocolate with greater than 70% cacao, green tea, coffee, yes, that cup of joe counts. These are packed with compounds like quercetin, EGCG, and resveratrol that inhibit nuclear factor kappa B activation. Next, fiber and fermented foods. Things like prebiotics, onions, garlic, asparagus, and probiotics, yogurt, sauerkraut, and kimchi. They nurture a gut microbiome that produces anti-inflammatory short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. Next, omega-3s and omega-6s. Walnuts, salmon, and flaxseed push the needle towards anti-inflammation, while excess industrial seed oils, soy, corn, sunflower, tip the scale the other way. And lastly, ditch the ultra-processed garbage. Those neon-colored snacks and sugar bomb sodas, they spike blood sugar, they create advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, and light up inflammatory pathways. Step 2, movement. Stress your body, not your joints. First, aerobic exercise. Running, biking, swimming. These lower baseline CRP and IL-6 over weeks and months. Next, resistance training. Lifting weights doesn't just build muscle. It improves mitochondrial function and dampens pro-inflammatory cytokines. And lastly, NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Standing desks, walking meetings, fidgeting, every bit of movement helps. Even light activity throughout the day keeps inflammatory markers in check. Next, sleep and stress management, because you can't hack a bad night's sleep. Sleep debt fuels inflammation. Consistently getting under 7 hours a night raises IL-6 and TNF alpha. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, ideally 8, in a cool, dark room with a consistent schedule. And mind-body practices, meditation, deep breathing, yoga, they've all been shown to reduce cortisol spikes and downregulate NFKB signaling. 10 minutes a day can make a measurable difference. And finally, body composition. Target the inflamed belly fat. So visceral fat, that deep-seated belly fat, isn't just ugly, it's metabolically active, pumping out IL-6 and TNF alpha. Keeping waist circumference in check, men under 40 inches, women under 35, goes a long way. And intermittent fasting or time-restricted eating. Even a 12 to 14-hour overnight fast can lower systemic inflammation by improving insulin sensitivity and giving your cells a break from processing energy. All right, so now for the sexy stuff. What's on the horizon for supercharging your anti-inflammatory arsenal? So first is senolytics. These are compounds like dasatinib plus quercetin or fisetin. They selectively kill senescent cells, reducing the SASP burden. Early human trials show promise for improving physical function and reducing markers like IL-6. Next, metformin. That old diabetes drug is being repurposed for longevity. It activates AMPK, which inhibits NFKB and is currently under investigation in the TAME trial for delaying age-related diseases. Additionally, rapalogs, so low-dose rapamycin, mTOR inhibitors that mimic calorie restriction. Animal models show lifespan extension. Human protocols are still experimental, but some biohackers report reduced CRP and improved immune function. And lastly, the NLRP3 inhibitors, drugs in development, things like MCC 950, they target the inflammasome directly. Still in early phases, but could revolutionize treatment for autoimmune and neurodegenerative diseases. And supplements are worth a look, but you want to talk to your doctor first. So things like curcumin with piperine, omega-3 fish oil, vitamin D if you're low, and even astaxanthin for its potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. So let's distill this down into 5 crystal clear action items you can start right now. First, upgrade your plate. Load half your plate with veggies and berries. Aim for color, red, orange, or purple. Number 2, move daily, sweat weekly. Walk or cycle for 30 minutes most days, and lift or do resistance exercises in at least 2 days a week. Third, sleep like a boss. Set a consistent bedtime, ditch screens an hour before, and aim for at least 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. 4, stress check. Incorporate at least 5 to 10 minutes of focused breathing or meditation into your morning or evening ritual. And lastly, consider smart supplements. Talk to your healthcare provider about low-risk options like omega-3s, curcumin, or vitamin D if you're deficient. So to circle back, acute inflammation is your ally. Chronic inflammation is your saboteur. But here's the good news. Armed with the right lifestyle levers, you can tip the scales back towards repair, regeneration, and longevity. No magic pill required, just the daily choices that add up over time. And if you want to keep your body's fire station running smoothly without burning your health down, start dialing in these strategies today. Your future self, 10, 20, even 30 years down the line will thank you. And as always, I thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing the next one.